First contact, an unexpected encounter. The inky void of deep space stretched endlessly in all directions as the survey ship Horizon cut silently through the darkness. Lieutenant James Carter stood at the helm, his eyes fixed on the swirling clouds of a nearby nebula. After 6 months of uneventful exploration in this uncharted sector, the colorful stellar nursery was a welcome sight. "Beautiful, isn't it?" came a voice from behind him. James turned to see Captain Amelia Reyes stepping onto the bridge, a steaming mug of coffee in her hand. "It certainly is, Captain," James replied with a nod. "Almost makes the endless weeks of empty space worth it." Amelia chuckled as she settled into the command chair. "Well, hopefully we'll find something a bit more substantial soon. The brass back home are getting antsy for results." As if on cue, a sharp beep emanated from the sensor station. Ensign Chen's fingers flew across the touchscreen as he analyzed the incoming data. "Captain, I'm picking up an anomalous energy signature," Chen reported, his brow furrowed in concentration. "It's unlike anything in our database." Amelia leaned forward, her interest piqued. "Origin?" "It appears to be coming from a small planetoid about half a light year from our current position," Chen replied. "Composition is mostly silicates and metals. Atmosphere is thin but breathable." "Sounds worth investigating," Amelia mused. She turned to James. "Lieutenant, plot a course. Let's go see what's out there." As the Horizon approached the planetoid, the crew's excitement grew palpable. This was what they had all signed up for: the thrill of discovery, the chance to make first contact with something truly alien. The ship settled into a stable orbit, and soon James found himself piloting a shuttle down to the rocky surface. Alongside him were Captain Reyes, Ensign Chen, and Dr. Samantha Wright, the team's exobiologist. As they touched down on a flat expanse of reddish stone, James felt a flutter of nervous anticipation in his stomach. The team donned their sleek exploration suits and cycled through the airlock. The first thing James noticed as he stepped onto the alien world was the silence. No wind, no animal sounds, just the crunch of gravel beneath his boots. The sky above was a deep purple, with unfamiliar constellations twinkling faintly. "Radiation levels are within acceptable limits," Dr. Wright reported, consulting her wrist-mounted scanner. "Gravity is about 0.8 Earth normal. Air is thin but breathable, though I'd recommend keeping helmets on for now." Captain Reyes nodded, her eyes scanning the barren landscape. "All right, team. Let's find the source of that energy signature. Chen, you've got point." They set off across the rocky plain, following Chen's sensors. As they crested a low ridge, James caught his first glimpse of their destination, a towering crystalline structure that jutted from the ground like a massive gemstone. Its faceted surfaces glimmered with an inner light that pulsed in hypnotic patterns. "My God," Amelia breathed. "It's beautiful." As they drew closer, James felt an odd tingling sensation at the base of his skull. He shook his head, trying to clear it. "Captain," he said hesitantly, "are you feeling anything strange?" Amelia frowned. "Now that you mention it, there is a sort of buzzing." "Dr. Wright, any thoughts?" Samantha was staring at her scanner in disbelief. "I'm picking up low-level psychic emanations. It's as if the crystal is reaching out to us somehow." Before anyone could respond, a blinding flash erupted from the structure. James threw up his hands to shield his eyes, stumbling backwards. When the light faded, he lowered his arms and froze in shock. Standing before them was a being unlike anything James had ever seen. It was vaguely humanoid in shape, but its body seemed to be composed of the same crystalline material as the towering structure behind it. Faceted planes caught the light, sending prismatic reflections dancing across the rocky ground. Where a human face would be, there was only a smooth, featureless surface. Yet somehow, James knew it was looking right at him. "Greetings, explorers," came a voice inside his head. It was neither male nor female, but a harmonious blend of tones that sent a shiver down his spine. "We have waited a very long time for this moment." Captain Reyes stepped forward, her voice steady despite the shock evident on her face. "I am Captain Amelia Reyes of the Earth ship Horizon. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and friendship." The crystalline being's head tilted slightly. Peace, friendship, noble goals, but there is so much more at stake here than you realize. It turned, gesturing towards the towering structure. "This is not merely a building. It is a seed, the last hope of my people. We were once a mighty civilization that spanned the stars, but we grew complacent, arrogant. We believed ourselves to be masters of the cosmos." Images flashed through James' mind, vast cities of crystal and light, fleets of starships that defied comprehension, marvels of science and engineering beyond anything humanity had achieved. "But the universe is vast and full of terrors," the alien continued. "We encountered something ancient and powerful, a force of pure entropy that consumed everything in its path. Our mighty civilization crumbled to dust before it." More visions assaulted James' senses, planets shattering, stars going dark, the screams of billions silenced in an instant. He staggered, overwhelmed by the psychic onslaught. The alien's mental voice grew somber. "I am all that remains, a repository of knowledge and power, waiting for a worthy successor to continue our legacy. For eons I have waited, watching countless species rise and fall, but none possessed the spark, the combination of curiosity, resilience, and compassion necessary to wield our gifts responsibly." It turned back to the humans, its crystalline form shimmering. "Until now, your kind has great potential, but also great flaws. You are capable of both tremendous kindness and unspeakable cruelty. You create beauty even as you sow destruction. You yearn to touch the stars, yet cannot stop fighting amongst yourselves." Captain Reyes frowned. "If you've been observing us, then you know we're trying to be better. To learn from our mistakes and build a more just society." "Indeed," the alien replied. "That is why I've revealed myself to you. The cosmic threat that destroyed my people still lurks in the dark between the stars. Sooner or later, it will find your world. You are not ready to face it, not as you are now." A sense of foreboding settled over James. "What are you saying?" he asked hesitantly. The crystalline being seemed to focus its attention solely on him. "I am offering you a choice, James Carter. A chance to become something more, to merge your essence with mine and unlock potential beyond your wildest dreams. Together, we could guide humanity to greatness and prepare them for the coming storm." James' mind reeled. "Me? But why?" "I have observed you all since you entered this system," the alien interrupted. "Of all your crew, you possess the strongest combination of the traits we value. You are curious yet cautious, brave yet compassionate. You seek to understand rather than to dominate." It extended a crystalline hand towards him. "The choice is yours. Merge with me, and together we can shepherd humanity to its destiny among the stars. Refuse, and you doom your species to face the coming darkness alone and unprepared." James looked at his crewmates, seeing his own shock and uncertainty mirrored in their faces. Captain Reyes placed a hand on his shoulder. "This has to be your decision, James," she said softly. "But whatever you choose, we're with you." Heart pounding, James turned back to the alien. The fate of humanity rested on his shoulders. Would he take a leap into the unknown or cling to the familiar? With a deep breath, he stepped forward and grasped the crystalline hand. "I accept," he said. A surge of energy coursed through him, and the world dissolved in a blaze of light. The fusion, humanity's quantum leap. The moment James's hand touched the crystalline being, a cascade of sensations overwhelmed him. It wasn't just energy coursing through his body, it was knowledge, memory, and awareness expanding at an exponential rate. His consciousness exploded outward, encompassing not just the planetoid they stood on, but the entire star system and beyond. Neural fusion initiating, a voice echoed in his mind, both alien and familiar. Preparing for full-spectrum integration, James felt his physical form begin to change. His skin took on a translucent, opalescent quality, shimmering with inner light. Veins of crystalline material spread throughout his body, forming intricate patterns that pulsed with energy. Captain Reyes, Dr. Wright, and Ensign Chen watched in awe as James transformed before their eyes. His body became a swirling vortex of light and crystal, neither fully human nor entirely alien. "James," Amelia called out hesitantly. "Are you all right?" When James spoke, his voice resonated with harmonics that seemed to vibrate the very air around them. "I am. More than all right, Captain. I am becoming." As the transformation continued, James' expanded consciousness began to process the vast repository of knowledge he now had access to. Millennia of scientific advancement, philosophical insights, and cosmic understanding flooded his awareness. "My God," he breathed. "The universe, it's so much more complex than we ever imagined." Dr. Wright's scientific curiosity overcame her initial shock. "What do you mean, James? What are you seeing?" James turned to her, his eyes now swirling pools of starlight. "Reality isn't just three-dimensional, Sam. There are layers upon layers of existence, dimensions folded within dimensions, and threading through it all is consciousness." He gestured, and a holographic display sprang to life in the air before them. It showed a mind-bogglingly complex network of glowing threads, pulsing and intertwining. "This is the cosmic web of awareness," James explained. "Every sentient being in the universe is connected to it, though most never realize it. It's the source of what we call psychic phenomena, spiritual experiences, even the collective unconscious." Ensign Chen stepped forward, his eyes wide. "Are you saying the universe itself is alive?" James nodded. "In a sense, yes. Not alive like we understand it, but aware. And that awareness can be tapped into, channeled. It's the source of the power my other half wielded." He turned back to the crystalline structure. "This isn't just a building or a seed. It's a quantum computer of unimaginable complexity, designed to interface directly with the cosmic web." Captain Rice frowned. "James, this is incredible. But what does it mean for humanity? For Earth?" James' expression grew serious. "It means we're not alone, Amelia. And we're not safe. There are ancient forces stirring in the dark between galaxies, beings of such vast power that entire civilizations are like motes of dust to them." He waved his hand, and the holographic display changed to show a roiling mass of darkness, shot through with veins of sickly purple energy. "This is what destroyed the civilization that created me, us," James said grimly. "They called it the void hunger. It doesn't just consume matter and energy, it devours consciousness itself, erasing entire species from the cosmic web." Dr. Wright gasped. "That's horrifying. How do we stop something like that?" James shook his head. "We can't. Not as we are now. Humanity is still in its infancy compared to the elder races of the universe. But that's why this fusion was necessary. With the knowledge and power I now possess, I can help guide humanity's development, prepare us for the challenges ahead." Ensign Chen looked skeptical. "No offense, James, but how do we know we can trust you? How do we know this alien influence hasn't changed you somehow?" James smiled, and for a moment they saw a glimpse of their old friend beneath the otherworldly appearance. "A fair question, David. I'm still me, just more. My human experiences, my values, they're still an integral part of who I am. But now I have the wisdom of an ancient race to temper my human impulses." He turned to Captain Reyes. "I know this is a lot to take in, Amelia, but I give you my word. Everything I do from this point forward will be for the benefit of humanity and all sentient life." Amelia studied him for a long moment, then nodded slowly. "I believe you, James. But what happens now? We can't exactly bring you back to Earth like this. The panic it would cause." James nodded. "You're right. I need time to fully integrate this new awareness, to learn to control these abilities. And humanity needs time to prepare for the revelations to come." He waved his hand, and a shimmering portal appeared in the air beside him. Through it, they could see the bridge of the horizon. "I've established a quantum link with the ship," James explained. "You can return safely. Tell them I died saving you from an unexpected solar flare. It's better if the truth remains hidden for now." Dr. Wright stepped forward, tears in her eyes. "James, we can't just leave you here alone." James smiled gently. "I won't be alone, Sam. I'll be connected to the entire universe, and I'll be watching over Earth, guiding things from behind the scenes until the time is right for me to reveal myself." He turned to Captain Reyes. "Amelia, I'm transferring a data packet to the ship's computers. It contains technological advances that will help humanity take its next steps into the cosmos. Nothing too revolutionary. We don't want to upset the balance too quickly, but enough to give us an edge." Amelia nodded, her expression a mix of sadness and determination. "We'll make good use of it, James, and we'll keep your secret." As the crew prepared to depart, James held up a hand. "One last thing. In the years to come, you'll start hearing rumors of a group called the Starborn Initiative. Scientists, philosophers, artists, people working to expand humanity's consciousness and potential. Keep an eye out for them. They'll be doing my work on Earth." With final farewells, the crew of the Horizon stepped through the portal. As it shimmered closed behind them, James turned his gaze to the stars above. "And so it begins," he murmured. In the decades that followed, humanity experienced a renaissance of innovation and discovery. Breakthroughs in physics led to more efficient space travel. Advances in biotechnology extended human lifespans and cured once intractable diseases. A new philosophy of cosmic interconnectedness began to take root, easing old tensions and fostering global cooperation. And through it all, stories spread of mysterious encounters with a being of light and crystal, a guide and guardian watching over humanity's ascent to the stars. Little did they know, it was just the beginning of their journey towards cosmic awakening, and the looming confrontation with forces beyond their comprehension. Cosmic awakening, the Starborn Revolution. 50 years after James Carter's transformation, Earth had become nearly unrecognizable. Gleaming arcologies stretched into the sky, their surfaces alive with bioluminescent algae that absorbed pollutants and converted them into clean energy. Orbital elevators connected the planet to a network of space stations and lunar colonies. But the most profound changes were not technological, they were spiritual and societal. Dr. Aria Chen, great-niece of the long-retired ensign David Chen, stood before a packed auditorium at the United Earth Academy. Her eyes gleamed with an inner fire as she addressed the eager crowd. "For too long, we thought of consciousness as something confined to our brains," she said, her voice resonating through the hall. "But the latest research from the Starborn Initiative proves what mystics have claimed for millennia. Our awareness extends far beyond our physical bodies." A holographic display sprang to life behind her, showing a shimmering web of interconnected nodes. "This is a real-time map of the global consciousness field. Each of you is represented here, your thoughts and emotions contributing to the greater whole." Murmurs of awe rippled through the audience. Aria smiled, knowing she was about to blow their minds even further. "But here's where it gets really interesting," she continued. "Watch what happens when we expand our view." The hologram zoomed out, revealing that Earth's consciousness field was just one node in a vastly larger network that extended throughout the solar system and beyond. "Ladies and gentlemen," Aria said, her voice hushed with reverence, "I give you the cosmic web, the interconnected awareness of all sentient life in our galaxy." The auditorium erupted in gasps and excited chatter. This was beyond anything they had imagined. But before Aria could continue, a commotion at the back of the hall caught her attention. A group of people in crisp military uniforms were making their way towards the stage, led by a stern-faced woman Aria recognized as Admiral Helena Vostok, head of Earth's defense forces. "Dr. Chen," the Admiral said sharply as she reached the podium, "this presentation is over. You're coming with us." Aria's heart raced, but she kept her composure. "On what grounds, Admiral?" Violation of the Cosmic Secrets Act, Vostok replied. This information is classified. You're endangering global security. As the soldiers moved to apprehend her, a ripple of energy pulsed through the room. The lights flickered, and the holographic display warped and twisted. And then, to everyone's shock, a figure materialized on stage, a being of swirling light and crystalline patterns that were at once alien and strangely familiar. That's quite enough, Admiral, the being said, its voice resonating with otherworldly harmonics. Vostok stumbled back, her face pale. What are you? The crystalline being smiled. Someone who's been watching humanity's progress with great interest. You may call me the Star Child. It turned to address the awestruck crowd. For 50 years, I've guided humanity from the shadows, helping you take your first steps towards cosmic citizenship. But the time for secrecy is over. The being, whom Arya suddenly realized must be the transformed James Carter from the old legends, waved its hand. The holographic display expanded, showing the vast cosmic web in all its glory. Humanity stands at a crossroads, the Starchild continued. You've achieved wonders, but you've only scratched the surface of your true potential. It's time for you to claim your place among the starborn races. Admiral Vostok had recovered some of her composure. You have no right to make that decision for us, she growled. Humanity will chart its own course. The Starchild turned to her, its expression gentle but firm. Admiral, I understand your fear. But the universe is vaster and more wondrous than you can imagine, and far more dangerous. The void hunger stirs, and Earth must be ready. It gestured, and a new image appeared. A roiling mass of darkness that seemed to devour the very light around it. The sight filled everyone with an instinctive, primal dread. This is the enemy that consumed my creators, the Starchild explained. It's drawn to awakening civilizations, feeding on their fear and division. Only a united, cosmically aware humanity stands a chance against it. Arya stepped forward, her mind reeling but her purpose clear. What do we need to do? The Starchild smiled at her. Exactly what you've been doing, Dr. Chen. Push the boundaries of consciousness. Tap into the cosmic web. Teach humanity to expand its awareness beyond the confines of flesh. It turned back to the crowd. Each of you has the potential to become so much more than you are. Let me show you. The Starchild raised its arms, and waves of crystalline energy pulsed outward. As they washed over the audience, people gasped and cried out in wonder. For a brief moment, their consciousness expanded, allowing them to feel the interconnectedness of all things. When it faded, the auditorium was filled with tears, laughter, and embraces as people struggled to process the profound experience. Admiral Vostok stood silent, a lone tear trailing down her cheek. I had no idea, she whispered. The Starchild nodded sympathetically. Few do, until they experience it directly. But now you understand what's at stake. It addressed the crowd once more. The path ahead won't be easy. You'll face resistance from those who fear change. The void hunger will try to twist your fears and divisions against you. But if you stand united, if you embrace your cosmic heritage, you can become something truly magnificent. Arya felt a surge of determination. We won't let you down, she said firmly. The Starchild smiled. I know you won't. The age of secrets is over. The age of cosmic awakening has begun. With a final pulse of energy, the crystalline being vanished, leaving behind an auditorium full of people forever changed by what they had witnessed. In the days that followed, the event at the United Earth Academy sparked a global revolution. Footage of the Starchild's appearance went viral, igniting debates and inspiring millions to explore their own cosmic potential. The Starborn Initiative, once a fringe movement, found itself thrust into the spotlight. Meditation centers and consciousness research facilities sprang up around the world. People from all walks of life began reporting spontaneous psychic experiences, flashes of telepathy, precognitive dreams, and moments of profound cosmic awareness. But as humanity reached for the stars within, dark forces gathered on the fringes of known space. The void hunger stirred, sensing a new prey awakening to its true nature. The cosmic game was entering its next phase, and the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galactic consciousness hung in the balance. Aria Chen stood at her office window, gazing at the glittering cityscape below. She could feel the pulse of millions of minds, a growing network of awakened consciousness. It filled her with hope, but also trepidation. "We've taken our first steps," she murmured. "But are we ready for what comes next?" Only time would tell. Quantum Crusade, humanity's cosmic trial. The crystalline spires of New Alexandria glittered in the light of Earth's twin moons, a testament to humanity's rapid advancement. Dr. Aria Chen stood on the observation deck of the Cosmic Concordance, headquarters of the newly formed Galactic Council of Earth. Her eyes, now swirling with iridescent patterns, gazed out at the sprawling megalopolis below. "Incoming transmission from the Martian hive mind," a melodious AI voice announced. "Priority Alpha." Aria nodded, her neural implants activating the holographic display. The flickering image of Synapse Prime, the elected representative of Mars' collective consciousness, materialized before her. "Greetings, Counselor Chen," Synapse Prime's multi-tone voice resonated. "We've detected a quantum anomaly in the Kuiper Belt. The void hunger's influence is growing stronger." Aria's brow furrowed. "Show me." The hologram shifted, displaying a three-dimensional map of the solar system. A writhing mass of darkness pulsed at the edges, tendrils of negative energy probing inward. By the star child, Aria breathed. "It's happening faster than we predicted." She turned to her AI assistant. "Initiate Protocol Omega. Summon the Cosmic Vanguard." Alarms blared throughout the complex as humanity's elite psychic defense force mobilized. Within minutes, the observation deck filled with individuals whose appearances ranged from merely unusual to downright alien. Zephyr, a being of pure energy contained within a humanoid force field, spoke first. "What's the situation, Counselor?" Aria gestured to the holographic display. "The void hunger has breached the outer reaches of our system. We need to mount a defense before it penetrates any further." Quantum, a young woman whose body constantly flickered between multiple parallel universe versions of herself, studied the map intently. "Conventional weapons will be useless against an entity of pure cosmic entropy. We'll need to deploy the Mind Forge." Murmurs of concern rippled through the gathered vanguard. The Mind Forge was humanity's most closely guarded secret, a massive psychic amplifier powered by the collective consciousness of billions. Its mere existence violated dozens of cosmic treaties. Aria's expression hardened. "We may not have a choice. Zephyr, prep the lunar cannon. Quantum, I want you to assemble a team for a direct assault on the void hunger's primary consciousness." As the vanguard dispersed to their assignments, a familiar shimmer of energy coalesced beside Aria. The Star Child materialized, its crystalline form pulsing with an urgency she had never seen before. "The situation is dire," it said without preamble. "The void hunger was drawn here far sooner than we anticipated. Humanity's rapid awakening has made Earth a tempting target." Aria nodded grimly. "We're mobilizing everything we have, but will it be enough?" The Star Child's expression was unreadable. "That depends on you, Aria. On all of humanity. The void hunger isn't just a physical threat, it's a test. A cosmic trial to determine if your species is ready to ascend." "Ascend?" Aria's eyes widened. "You mean?" "Yes," the Star Child confirmed. "If humanity can repel this invasion, you'll have proven yourselves worthy of joining the cosmic overminds, the eldest and most powerful consciousnesses in the universe." The weight of this revelation settled heavily on Aria's shoulders. "But if we fail, then Earth will fall, and the void hunger will use humanity's collective psychic energy to breach the barriers protecting the inner galaxy." The Star Child's voice was solemn. "Trillions of lives hang in the balance." Aria squared her shoulders, determination blazing in her iridescent eyes. Then failure is not an option. We'll throw everything we have at this abomination. The Starchild nodded approvingly. I've taught you well. But remember, brute force alone won't win this battle. The key lies in unity, in tapping the full potential of your shared consciousness. With a gesture, the Starchild summoned a shimmering object that hovered between them. It resembled a geodesic sphere made of pure light, pulsing with untold power. This is the cosmic seed, the Starchild explained. The last gift of my creators. If you can unite humanity's will and channel it through the seed, you'll unlock power beyond imagination. Arya reached out hesitantly, her fingers tingling as they brushed the seed's surface. How do we use it? That, the Starchild said with a hint of a smile, is something you'll have to discover for yourselves. This is humanity's trial after all. Before Arya could respond, alarms blared once more. The holographic display flickered, showing a massive surge of void energy breaching the orbit of Neptune. It's begun, the Starchild said grimly. Remember, Arya, the fate of not just Earth, but countless worlds rests on what happens here. Unite humanity. Awaken your true potential. Only then will you stand a chance. With a final nod of encouragement, the Starchild vanished, leaving Arya alone with the weight of the cosmos on her shoulders. She took a deep breath, centering herself as she reached out with her mind. She could feel the pulse of billions of souls, the collective will of humanity thrumming with nervous energy. Citizens of Earth, she broadcast, her telepathic voice resonating across the planet. The moment we've prepared for has arrived. The void hunger comes, seeking to devour our awakened consciousness. But we will not go quietly into the cosmic night. As she spoke, Arya felt the cosmic seed pulse in response to humanity's surging emotions. It began to glow brighter, tendrils of energy spiraling outward. Each of you carries a spark of the universal consciousness, Arya continued, her voice growing stronger. Now is the time to fan that spark into a blazing star. Unite your minds, your wills, your very souls. Together, we are more than flesh and blood. We are the embodiment of cosmic potential. Across the Earth, billions of minds focused as one. The cosmic seed pulsed faster, its glow intensifying until it rivaled the sun itself. In orbit, the crews of defense platforms watched in awe as waves of golden energy began to emanate from the planet. The moon's surface rippled as the lunar cannon powered up, drawing on the psychic energy of every human in the solar system. At the edge of the Kuiper belt, tendrils of void energy recoiled as they encountered the first waves of humanity's united will. The cosmic battle had begun, and the fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. Arya Chen stood at the heart of it all, the cosmic seed blazing before her as she channeled the collective power of her species. Her body began to transform, taking on a crystalline sheen reminiscent of the Starchild. Come on, humanity, she whispered fiercely. Show the cosmos what we're made of. As the void hunger bore down upon them, Earth unleashed the full fury of its awakened potential. The greatest trial in human history had begun, and the stars themselves held their breath to see the outcome. Cosmic ascension, the birth of a new universe. The battle raged across the solar system, a kaleidoscope of psychic energy clashing against the tendrils of void. Earth glowed like a beacon, the united will of humanity channeled through the cosmic seed, creating shields of pure consciousness that rippled outward. Arya Chen, now a being of crystalline light, hovered above the planet. Her awareness expanded to encompass the entire battlefield. Through her, the collective mind of humanity directed its defense. Quantum, Arya's voice resonated across dimensions. The void is attempting to fracture our timeline. Stabilize the quantum field. Quantum, her form blurring as she existed simultaneously across multiple realities, nodded. She reached out, her hands weaving intricate patterns in the fabric of spacetime. Reality shimmered, timelines snapping back into alignment. Meanwhile, Zephyr led a squadron of energy beings in a daring assault on the void hunger's main body. They darted between tentacles of entropy, their bodies leaving trails of prismatic light. "Remember your training," Zephyr called out. "Thoughts become reality here. Visualize your attacks." The squadron responded, their minds shaping pure energy into lances, swords, and more exotic weapons born of imagination. They clashed with the void entities, the battle raging on a level beyond physical comprehension. Back on Earth, billions of minds joined as one in a planet-wide meditation. Parks and places were filled with people seated in lotus position, their bodies glowing softly as they contributed to the psychic defense. In low orbit, the lunar cannon fired continuous bursts of concentrated thought energy. Each blast carved glowing furrows through the void hunger's mass. But for every tendril destroyed, two more emerged from the cosmic darkness. Arya gritted her teeth, feeling the strain as she channeled more and more power through the cosmic seed. It's not enough, she realized with growing dread. We're slowing it down, but we can't stop it completely. As if sensing her doubt, a particularly massive tendril of void energy lashed out, shattering Jupiter's moon Io and sending fragments hurtling toward Earth. Arya's eyes widened in horror. But before she could react, a new presence made itself known. The Starchild appeared beside her, its crystalline form blazing with inner light. "You've done well, Arya," it said, its voice filled with pride. "But now it's time for the final step. Are you ready to transcend?" Arya hesitated for a split second, then nodded firmly. "Whatever it takes to save Earth." The Starchild smiled. "It's not just Earth at stake here. This moment will determine the fate of the entire cosmos." With a gesture, the Starchild summoned swirling vortexes of energy. From each one stepped a being of impossible beauty and complexity, the cosmic overminds. "Behold," the Starchild announced, "the elder consciousnesses of the universe. They've come to witness humanity's ascension." The overminds spoke as one, their voice resonating through the fabric of reality itself. "The trial is complete. Humanity has proven its worth. Now, you must make a choice." A shimmering portal appeared before Arya, swirling with colors beyond human comprehension. "Step through," the overminds intoned, "and join us in the realm beyond. Leave behind your mortal form and become a cosmic force of creation." Arya's mind reeled at the implications. To transcend her humanity, to become something greater than she had ever imagined. But at what cost? She turned back, looking at the glowing sphere of Earth. She could feel the hopes, dreams, and determination of billions flowing through her. They had entrusted her with their future. "No," Arya said firmly, surprising even herself. "I won't abandon humanity. There must be another way." The Starchild's eyes gleamed with approval. "There is, but it requires the ultimate sacrifice." Understanding dawned on Arya. She nodded sullenly. "I'm ready." With a thought, she drew the cosmic seed into herself. Power beyond imagining flooded her being. Her consciousness expanded to encompass not just the solar system, but the entire galaxy, the entire universe. In that moment of cosmic awareness, Arya understood. The void hunger wasn't just an enemy to be defeated. It was the universe's way of testing emerging consciousnesses, pushing them to transcend their limitations. With newfound clarity, Arya reached out to the void itself. Not to destroy it, but to embrace it, to understand it. "I see you," she whispered. "I accept you." The tendrils of void energy paused in their assault. For a moment that stretched into eternity, two cosmic forces faced each other in perfect balance. Then, with a blinding flash of light that outshone supernovas, Arya Chen merged with the void hunger. The universe itself seemed to hold its breath. When the light faded, where Arya had been now pulsed a swirling nexus of creation and destruction. Light and dark, order and chaos, all in perfect harmony. The cosmic overminds watched in awe. "Impossible," they murmured. "She's done it. A true synthesis." The Starchild smiled proudly. "Not impossible, simply the next step in cosmic evolution. The being that had once been Arius spoke, its voice echoing across all of creation. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Through me, the cycle of the cosmos continues. With a thought, the hybrid entity reshaped reality. The damage from the battle was undone. But more than that, new worlds sprang into being. New possibilities blossomed across the galaxy. Humanity found itself transformed, not descended in the way the overminds had offered, but elevated. Their psychic potential was fully awakened, their consciousness expanded. They were no longer bound to a single world, but had become true citizens of the cosmos. The Starchild turned to the stunned overminds. You offered ascension, but Arya showed us a different path. Not to rise above our mortal nature, but to fully embrace it. To find the divine within the physical. As the newborn cosmic entity seeded life across the galaxy, the Starchild continued. This is humanity's gift to the universe. Not transcendence, but integration. A new way of being that bridges all dualities. The Overminds nodded slowly, a new respect in their multidimensional gaze. We have witnessed the birth of something truly new, they acknowledged. The cosmos will never be the same. And so, humanity took its place among the stars, not as conquerors, not as ascended beings, but as guardians of a new cosmic order. An order that celebrated the physical and the spiritual, that found strength in unity and diversity alike. The age of cosmic synthesis had begun, and the universe watched with bated breath to see what wonders would unfold.